Hiya Woodturners, Martin here. Thank you for joining me for this short little video giving you a little background tour into my wood-turning studio stroke workshop. My lathe is a Bickmark VL300. It's got a 2-foot swing and, I don't know, 3 foot between centres. I don't do a huge amount of spindle turning. I generally do mostly faceplate turning. So I love this lathe. I've just given it a little bit of TLC with some dry PTFE lube on the lathe bed, and everything is moving really nice and smoothly this morning. I'm actually just getting ready to film a video on bowl turning. So my VL300 just here. I also do quite a lot of teaching here, and over there are the student lathes. I'll show you those in a bit. So my workshop area is a little bit more for show, as it were, but it's a really nice, simple layout for the turning that I do, especially as I do try and keep it tidy. So directly behind the lathe, I have all of my chucks and all of the chuck jaws. I've got a couple of, well, I've got two Axminster SK114s and SK100. Oh, there's another SK114, couple of Nova chucks, a spike plate, an Easy Wood chuck, and a couple of Bickmark chucks as well. But all of these jaws here are for my favourite chucks, which are the Axminster range. Here we've got some, oh, what are they called? Rubber chuckies, that's it. They're called rubber chuckies. I bought them in from the US. And just to give the place a little bit of a homely feel, I've got some wall hangings just there. It helps to inspire the students and also remind me of the kind of turning that I really love doing. And then tucked in the corner just here, I've got a few more pieces that are finished that look, they're just there for decoration, really. Of course they are. And then just to the left of the lathe here, I'm left-handed, although most of the turning I do is actually right-handed. So just to the left of the lathe, I have my tool rack. It's not a huge tool rack, but it holds all of the tools that I need to. And then over there, I've got some other tools that are just tucked into boxes. On the wall down here, I've got stuff. I've got some tool rest holders, some live center holders, and some other really handy holders, just like the tools up there. The holders are made by SK Crafts here in the UK. They're 3D printed and they really do the job. On this side of the lathe, on the left side of the lathe, the headstock side, I've got a similar thing for the attachments and the bits I use most regularly. I've also got a permanent setup airbrush here as well. Now the hose for the airbrush goes underneath the lathe and into the cupboards over there. And also there's an extension lead down here as well. So I can plug things in like hot air guns or pyrography machines or Arbortex, you know, that sort of thing. On the left of the lathe here is my workbench, and up there I've got my finishes and what have you. I use the Hampshire Sheen range of finishes at the moment. In here I've got artist supplies, I've got some stencils in there and some paint brushes, and what else? Oh, some texturing tools, gold leaf or metal leaf that's in there. Don't know what that is. And then in the top is where I've got paint brushes and stuff. So it's basically just a little tidy-ish dumping ground. Down here in the cupboards, I've got some gessos and paints. It's storage for packing boxes, and there's a little bit more gold leaf down there. In here I've got spare tools, there's some sanding discs in there, the Arbortex down the bottom, there's some drill bits, some Forstner bits, that kind of thing, plus my really nice Maker's Marks. In here is the airbrush compressor with the hose going to the other end of the lathe, and there's my airbrush colours in there, the intrinsic colour collection from Hampshire Sheen, that's in there. A couple of spare airbrushes, there's some masking tape, some craft knives and screws. The bench itself has got those self-healing rubber mats on. They're really handy to protect the actual worktop itself. The whole section here is actually a kitchen unit that I bought a few years ago from eBay, I believe it was. So these cupboards down here have spares and bits and bobs in. So I've got some DeWalt boxes there with some sanding attachments in. In there is more drill bits, and in this one is sort of project kitty things and some spares. I've also got the Paul Howard router and router jig set up in there too. So that's that cupboard. And then in these cupboards here, I've got spares and samples of stuff that I use for teaching with. So we've got pen mandrels in there, hair dryers if the students need to be drying off any colours, loads of masking tape, and samples of the things that we turn in the lessons. And here, in front of the Bickmark lathe, these are the student lathes. We've got two Axminster 406s and an Axminster 508, a one-way 2416 over there, and a Nova Saturn. Each of the lathes has its own set of tools and a chuck and basically everything they need for a fantastic day's wood turning here at the wood turning school, generally with me, but we do also have Les Thorne here as well, who is also a professional turner who has many years experience. For sharpening tools and gouges, we have two systems in the school. We have an 8-inch CBN wheel and a Wolverine jig, and we also use the Robert Sorby Pro Edge for sharpening the bowl gouges and the spindle gouges. All the other tools are done on the 8-inch CBN wheel. Each of the lathes is connected to the extraction system. All of the ducting runs underneath the benches and then out the back to a shed that houses the extractor. And by doing it that way, it keeps it nice and quiet in here. So when I'm teaching, doing my own turning or demonstrating, I can hear myself think, and students and anybody watching a remote demonstration can also hear exactly what I'm thinking and saying, of course. And we also have an air filter up there. And that pretty much is it for the workshop. Now then, camera setup wise, you can see me on the monitor just there. I use PTZ cameras, so there's one up there that looks sort of down across from the back. There's another PTZ camera just there that looks straight down the lathe bed, and you'll notice that this one is on a rail, so I can actually maneuver the camera to exactly where I want it. And then up above the lathe in front of that big LED panel is another PTZ camera, and that one is also on a rail. And the great thing about the PTZ cameras is that I can control them all from a single remote control, and they've got settable positions, that kind of thing. And just here, this is the tablet that I use to control the cameras when I'm doing my other YouTube videos and streaming remote demonstrations, that sort of thing. And from here, when I'm demonstrating for students, I've got a really good view of all of the lathes in the room. And then back here in sort of the shop area, I have a whole load more stuff. There's more paints in here, there's pyrography machines, there's rotary tools, there's all sorts of stuff that helps me when I do my own turning, and also it's available for students to use too. It looks a terrible mess at the moment, but that is all changing. Make sure you tune in to Turner's Journey, my weekly video series that is starting properly on the 1st of August 2025 to see exactly what goes on week here at the workshop. And then in front of my desk we have sort of a communal area in what used to be our retail shop. We've got a spare office over there, and then just in here we have the workshop that's used by Les Thorne. A nice big dining table so students can sit down and get creative with airbrushes and stencils, that kind of thing. Plus we also have lunch here too. And we've got tea and coffee making facilities and a fridge. And then lastly, we have my desk, my mission control. I use 2 monitors, one that I generally keep my emails and social media open on, and then this is the one that I use for editing, that kind of thing. The monitors that you saw in the school a minute ago are also connected to this computer here, and then that goes out through the internet, and we use Starlink broadband, satellite Starlink broadband, because from where we are here out in the countryside through the village, it's all copper. It's all copper wire, and then it joins fibre. So it's never been particularly brilliant. So we've invested in Starlink, which is much, much, much better. And that's about it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and stick around to the end, as there will be a playlist that I think you'll be interested in, and also a video that I think you may be interested in too. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care. See you soon.